everybody, it's Uncle John from Uncle John's Farms here in Center Point, Indiana. Most of you know we raise chickens here. Not only do we raise the meat birds to sell, but we also have eggs or layer chickens that lay the eggs. We have used for a number of years what's called a little egg scrubber to clean the eggs. And like I say, we've had it for a number of years and the motor finally went out of it. I contacted the manufacturer and they sent us a replacement motor, but they also sent some replacement parts, and that is to kind of bring it up to standard to what a new machine would be. The only problem I have found, I have went through the instructions that they sent us, and let's just say the instructions leave a lot to be desired. So I thought I would bring you along on this journey as I try to fix our little egg scrubber. We may have to jerry-rig some of it. Well, here is the instructions on how to change this over. And we're going to try at least get the motor replaced. They've sent some other things as far as a new belt. They've also sent some new spools that go on different things. So we're going to try this. I've got pliers and Allen wrenches. It says to put it up on its left-hand side and take all these acorn nuts off. I have really liked this machine over the years, and I probably should have just went ahead and bought a new one. But a new one is over $300, and the replacement parts are only $79. Now, as you can see, this is starting to turn. So we'll get another pair of pliers to hold the bottom, because on these, that's all the way through them. And I want to say it's been a really good machine. I've been really proud of it. And it's got another one turning down there on the bottom as well. There's always one. Okay, as you can see, we have gotten the plate off, and there's a little screw that holds this motor. It's a little Allen head. So we'll unscrew it. And it's a little tiny screw, so I'm sure I'll lose it. And a washer. So that goes right there. Okay. There's also cable tie on the back. Dig around my toolbox, find us something to cut this tie off. And it seems to be a real good tie. So that we can throw away. Then it says we can loosen this belt. I think there's another Allen wrench in here. Sad part about these types of machines is you cannot see hardly. Alright, so we must have got it loose because it's coming up now. So we'll take that off. That's the old belt. As you can see, there's some oil and grease that's spilled out of there. feels like there might be another screw on this that's holding it in. And there it is, it's covered in grease. And we'll clean this up too. We're not going to leave that grease on there. This machine's probably 2 or 3 years old. So we got the money's worth out of it and out of this motor. Like I say, the replacement was $70, but it included all these extra parts. We'll put that down here with the other one. And there's the old motor. As you can see, it had been leaking, and they just weren't made to last forever. Well, as you can see, we're having a little problem getting the gear off. I'm going to try to raise it up with this screwdriver and smack the inside of it. Hopefully get that to break loose. It's trying to come, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to get this off of here. Okay, so we finally got it off after beating and cussing. That's the reason I shut the camera off, so you kids didn't hear that. So we'll get the new gear out here. That one's the smaller one. Oh, here's the bigger one up here. Alright, so we need to get that put back in there like that. Yeah. So we need to pry this bottom up. See, this is stuff they didn't put on their instructions. That they were, you know, if I could talk to the people who make this, I'd be telling them, your instructions leave a lot to be desired, and, you know, you really need to be a little more specific with some of this stuff. Well, after we were able to contact the manufacturer, we figured out what the problem is here. They tell us to fold up a business card, and that should be the clearance on that in order to make these brushes and things work. So we're going to try that again today and try to get this finished so we can use it for an egg washing machine. That one was in there pretty tight. Alright, so I got it loosened up enough here. We're going to slide this card underneath. We're going to do just what the guy told us in the email. Tighten this back up. And evidently we didn't get it tight enough because it still doesn't work right. Still, to me, feels like it wants to slip on that shaft. And I can't get it to tighten anymore. That looks a little better. We'll try it there and see what happens. We got to do the same with this one. And my guess is it must be a different size of Allen wrench because it seems to not be working as good. Let's try this one. You would think they would all be the same size. Like I say, the machine was actually really good when we first got it. I wasn't surprised when the motor went out of it because we've used it for a lot of years. Okay, so I finally got this off, and like I say, it's harder than what the company says it is. Their instructions here again leave a lot to be desired. There's like roller extra sprockets here. I'm not sure what they all go to. So we're going to put this in. We're going to put this card in here. And I'm not sure. This is taking way longer than it really should. Like I say, the instructions aren't very good. I hope there's a place on the website that I can literally leave some feedback because I think they need to know from customers how hard this is and how bad their instructions are. I've literally had to put a screwdriver under there to hold the brushes up while I try to do this. And as awkward as this little nut is to get to, alright, we're going to try to call that good. We're going to take that out. Now that one's actually acting better than this one. Alright. So now there's this new piece that they've given us. And I think it goes here, but here again there was no directions on this. So we're going to try to figure out how we do this. Okay, this one also can come out the bottom. Now I'm holding on to all these pieces in case this doesn't work. I'm going to box the whole thing up and send it back to them. Now we do know that this goes in because of that right there. But here again we have to take this thing off. And we have the right tool for the job. I'm assuming there's enough play in here. But you know what happens when we assume, right? Alright, so I think what we're going to have to do is widen this out. Here again, there's no instructions on this, on how to do it. Alright, so we get that piece in there. Without tearing it up. Try to get that all back together. And okay, so this thing still needs to set back down in here some way, because we got like way too much gaps and stuff in here. Bad design. These people really need to relook at things. Oh, there's part of the problem. These big brushes have popped out now. Here again, some decent instructions would have helped immensely. And I'm all for ingenuity and making things better on the farm, but we have wasted almost 2 days on getting this fixed. I could have probably shipped it to them and got it back faster. And we still don't know if it's going to run or not. Alright, so we'll put another card in here. And this is a new piece that wasn't on the original machine. At least this one's a little easier to get to. And like I say, I'm not really sure what that new bar does. Alright, we're coming to the motor part now. And this one actually has a switch on it, which is a good thing. The other motor didn't. Just when you plugged it in, it started working. And we got to make sure we get it in the right area. Alright, and of course those are different size Allen wrenches, but that's alright. Now the real trick of this is going to be to get the belt on, because we still have to tighten the pulley on that one. They talk about belt tensioning, but I have not seen anywhere to do that on this machine. This should have been a 15-minute job. But here again, because of the instructions and some other issues, it's been a lot longer. And the motor don't act like it wants to set in there right. So I'm going to loosen that back up. Okay, we're going to call that good. Yeah, it's very difficult. Okay, then we're going to assume how these go are kind of like this. I just kind of want to get a, because I can already see right now there's probably going to be a problem with getting that belt tightened right. Here again, bad design and very bad instructions. Now we can't put a card under there because there's a screw there. I'm just going to lift it off that screw a little bit with my hand. I believe the head of this may actually be a different size again. See, it's just little things like that that are frustrating for people actually working on these, and I don't think the company understands that. All three of these spools had different sizes on their Allen wrenches. Okay, before we do that, I can already tell that we're going to run into an issue here. Maybe not. Alright. Let's see if this is going to get working. See, the belt is way too small. I mean, I can already tell that. They talk about trying to adjust this motor some way. I'm not sure if the motor, because see, the thing, the sprocket is also too big for that. So either they have the wrong belt size or something. And the belt does not give whatsoever. we don't put this sprocket on the bottom like we had before, the belt's still too small. Alright, I'm going to try to loosen this motor up a little bit. See if I can't get a little bit. Yeah, that's not going to help at all. Alright, so another email to the company. We waited again. I finally got the belt on there. I think I've got it all on right. This has just been a real not so good experience. I think, you know, these were great machines when they come out, but if this doesn't work, I'm going to look for a different company with a different type of egg washer. Because like I say, their instructions left a lot to be desired. I love this little machine when it worked, and I wasn't disappointed when the motor went out because, you know, we've used it for several years. And I've got an extra nut here for some reason. Alright, so we're going to plug it in and just see if it's going to work at this point in time. Like I say, I've not been real happy with the instructions to this machine. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. And it is working. It does to me sound like that the motor is being labored because that belt is so tight. I may call them again and ask them some more options on this. Here again, these were great machines. If you buy a new one, I'm sure you're not going to have any problem with it. If you have to recondition one of these old ones, my thinking is at this point, just replace the motor. Don't listen to the company at replacing all this other stuff, because it has taken me literally 2 days to get this done. Anyway, this is Uncle John from Uncle John's Farms. Sorry this one's a long one. I thought it was going to be a 15-minute fix. It's taken us 2 days. As far as a rating on the company, it's a good machine when it first comes out and you buy the whole machine. But if you have to repair it, they do not provide very good instructions. On their replacements, belts and parts and stuff like that, I'm going to give them kind of a thumbs down at this point because it has taken 2 days to get it fixed.